Happy Thanksgiving. I'm wearing my butter yellow, as someone coined it, hoodie from Black Dog. One of my favorite companies for some reason. They don't sponsor me, but if they want to, reach out. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. Love you all. Thanks for tuning in to Bob DeCree's audio stories. And we're going to start this one off with a little Christmas story from my past that I don't even read. I'm just going to tell you from my mind. Anyways, when I was 10 or 12 years old, I came to the conclusion that I loved music. I would kind of listen to it nonstop, not because that was my nature, but my whole family was musically driven. You know, my brothers were like the cutting edge, listening to the most cool music ever, and I got to ride right alongside there. So I became a fan of Doc Watson and all sorts of people. But anyways, I really wanted to play the guitar, and when I was 10 years old, I asked my mom and dad if I could have a guitar, since my brother had just gotten a fiddle, and he and his buddies were learning together, and it just sounded like so much fun. Well, the answer to me was no. I kind of understood. You know, I was young. I shouldn't say I understood. I was disappointed. But I understand now. I was young. They probably didn't think I'd stick with it. Yada, yada, yada. Anyways, as you little brothers do, I started digging around in my brother's closet, my oldest brother's closet, Reggie, and I found an old broken back guitar in there. And I was like, wow, look at that. I'll show mom and dad that I can play guitar. And so pulled it out. It was all busted up. With some duct tape and some spray paint, I tuned those 3 strings up as best I could, and I started playing it non-stop. Well, by the time I was 12, December of the year I was 12, my parents had either gotten sick and tired of me playing that guitar that wasn't in tune at all, or they just thought I was deserving, so they bought me a guitar. It was a service merchandise special. It was a nylon string guitar. And they saved it until the last present of the day. And I remember I had no idea that I was going to get something like that. It was amazing. It was the highlight of my life at that point. Not that there are too many in a 12-year-old's life, but it was pretty special. And so my brother had prepared that I was going to need steel strings on it, so he had some, and he took the guitar upstairs, and by the time he was 2/3 way through tuning it, or putting the new strings on, the neck buckled against the body. Looked just like it would in a cartoon. I was devastated. And then I ended up getting another guitar, and that was really difficult to play, but then Mike made up for the trying to put steel strings on my brand new guitar, and he took me to buy my first guitar, which was an FG75 Yamaha. And I think I paid $150 for it, which was like a year's worth of savings. Anyways, that's my story. That was a pretty special Christmas for me. Even though I was disappointed that it got broken, I still got my first guitar that Christmas. And along those lines, the story I'm going to tell is kind of a stream of thought story. It has to do with music, and hope you like it. It's called Melodies. Classical music plays as we observe and contemplate the opportunities of the day. The soft melodies create a natural rhythm and a sense of protection, like the amniotic fluid once did in the comfort of our mother's womb. We sway back and forth to the tempo of life. We don't know how, but we all seem to relate or remember that feeling. It feels familiar, a soft, warm sanctuary we instinctively recall. As the speed and the complexity of the music shifts, so does our need to adapt and respond more quickly to the situations that arise. Not with right or wrong reactions, but with those that feel necessary in the moment. The timing of the music remains constant as we move through the kaleidoscope of learning, creating wisdom that mirrors the depth and intricacy of this part of the composition. The ebb and flow of the music is like the feeling of being in your mother's arms in an old rocking chair near a warm fire, feeling loved, protected, and warm. Like a good musical composition, there are powerful points of high anxiety and calm eddies for our boat to slide into, helping us reflect. Gratitude is what we learn from this point in the music and in life. Just in time, we have learned all what we need to know for the crescendo to come. The music feels tumultuous, with different instruments taking turns, trying to share their interpretations of the piece, not always in sync, as if fighting one another. This continues almost to a point of exhaustion when a moment of silence appears just before the drum beats loudly and boldly, the final everlasting rhythmic sounds we will hear in this piece, before a soft melodic flute plays the melody that our life has been all about. Then the music fades and comes to its final resting place, always to be remembered, touching a part of our being that will never be the same. Thanks for tuning in to Bobby Gree's audio stories. Please subscribe if you like it. Subscriptions help me and it costs you nothing. It's free to subscribe and it really does help me. I'll keep you posted. I leave this Thursday going on my trip across the country, and I'll keep doing these videos so you can kind of come along with me and enjoy the ride. Again, thank you very much. Happy New Year and God bless.